we're going to talk today about how to sell your offer without ads, even if you don't have an audience. And I'm also going to offer to you, once you comment below that you want it, I'll hit you in your inbox with a author 30-day success roadmap. It's going to cover much of what we went over today, but it's going to look like a calendar and have just little feedback. So if you're interested in that already, just go ahead and give me some rockets or say, I want it. I want it. And that way, when I go back to review the comments, I can make sure that you're included in getting that. All right. So I want it if that's you. Okay. All right. So let's get started. So I want to talk to you. There's about how to sell more with less. How do you sell more of your message without the budget of marketing? I can tell you right now, and you can find this in the Author Boss Academy. There is a training there having to do with Facebook ads. And in it, you will learn that the threshold that you really will see impact at is based on a formula. And usually, if your program is $500 or more, I should say that, $500 or more, your ad spend to start is looking at more like 300 bucks, something around that range, because of the amount of people you need to have in terms of eyes on your offer in order to convert at a certain percentage. Okay, so when you're looking at that, you might say, hey, it's Christmas time, or this was a rough year. I thank you. I want it. This was a rough year. And so, because of all of these outliers, I have to be smart with what I have. I don't have an ad spend right now, right? Just keeping it real. I don't have an ad spend right now. Well, these are the things that you can do. And the answer with how you sell more with less / no ads budget is content marketing. All right. Content marketing, digital marketing. You might hear it prescribed in that way as well. So digital content marketing is the way that you can up level to keep your offer in the face of the people and really get to know the people. And it's a great branding strategy as well, because they're allowing you into their world and you're allowing them into yours in a way that's helping them. All right. It's focused on helping them. It's not focused on showing you off. Right? That's not what we do. We're not focused on how great you look and how whatever you have going on, right? Your holiday photos. That's cool to include in there so that so that they know that you're a real person. But that is not what brings them to the table of let's pass some papers and let's pass some dollars so that we can be an impact to one another. All right. So how do you develop content marketing? Well, I'm going to give you 6 steps. All right. 6 steps. The first one is that you need to establish your message. All right? What message are you trying to communicate to your audience? What's the message? What are you saying? What are you saying? What is your point? Okay? What is your point? What is your point in sharing with them whatever it is that you have to offer? Why do they need it? Okay? What is your message? All right. And it doesn't have to be necessarily a catchy phrase. I don't want you to get too caught up on, does my phrase rhyme, right, in terms of what I'm looking for. This is you and your pen and pad and paper. Your pen, yeah, your pad is your paper, but your pen and pad, right? Your pen and paper. You want to establish that message and really write out what is your message. What do you want to be known for? What are people coming to you in terms of this is a problem they have? They're coming to you to solve it. What is that? All right, let's give them that. Establish your message, because that message is the same message you're going to use throughout, whether you use this for the next 30 days in terms of your marketing initiatives to carry out the rest of the year, or you use it to just as a part of your regular routine social marketing or social media marketing, okay? And not just social media marketing, I should just say marketing. For your author marketing, you can use this strategy no matter what your campaign is and what you have going on. You want to look at establishing your message. What is my message? What is my point? All right. That's number 1. Number 2, know your audience. All right. These two are pretty familiar. If you've watched any of the other Simply Irresistible broadcasts, pretty familiar. All right. But it's an essential part of the process when you are planning out your content marketing. Okay. So you know your audience. Who has it? Like, who is it? And then what type of content do they want? What type of content do they want? All right. So who is it? That's number 1, knowing your audience. You got to know who you're talking to. If you don't know who you're talking to, you're going to talk to nobody. You're going to talk to everybody, which means you're going to talk to nobody. Okay? I don't want you to talk to everybody. I want you to know who you're talking to. I want you to know your audience. That's absolutely critical and essential to your content marketing strategy, creating results. All right? You're not going to see results if you don't know who you're talking to. If you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. Always remember that. If you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. All right? So know your audience. Who is it? Who is it? And I'm not just talking about demographic, right? I'm talking about in terms of the problem. Who has this problem that you solve? You know you solve a problem, right? Because that's why you wrote your book. That's why you have your consulting business. That's why you sell whatever it is that you sell. That's why you are where you are right this minute, because you have a problem that you solve. However, what you might not know is who needs it. Who has this problem? And what you'll learn in the Author Boss Academy is how to measure whether or not it's a problem that people will pay money to solve. That's where you make your dollars at. Okay, you make your money as an author, not necessarily in how many books you sell, unless you're Michelle Obama or you are T.D. Jakes or Jensen Franklin or any of these other big celeb folks, right? They make their money back. And even with the tours, some of the tours don't pan out all the time. It doesn't match the margin, right? People respond differently. So it's very important to know your audience. I'll digress for just a moment to say that I remember when I was looking to have an event at Barnes and Noble. And when I was talking to the community director there, I was sharing with them what I wanted to do, and they were sharing with me that that might not be the store. Like if I don't already know my audience is in that area, then that might not be the store that I want to have the event at. Was the event a great idea? Yeah, they loved it. They would love to have had me there. But they said that might not be the area. And they gave me an example of Michelle Obama and her book. People weren't coming to the stores, if you will, to sit and watch her read and all that kind of stuff. Or they weren't ordering through the store in such a volume to where she would come to the store. Michelle Obama, they weren't ordering in such a volume from Barnes and Noble to where that she could have an event at the store. So she probably knew this. I'm finding this out later, in the game. She probably already knew this. So what did she do? Create a tour of her own. And not just a tour of like book signing, but she made it about her. She did an event where it was an interview. And it wasn't her just talking. It was someone interviewing her. So it always kept her in the position of being the expert and not the boss and not the creator of all of this stuff happening, even though it's all her. Okay? So I want you to know that it's so critically important. If Michelle Obama needs to know who her audience is, right? When she's planning her author tours and her book tours and her book events and all that, you do too. You do too. You're no different. All right. So make sure you know who your audience is. And again, I'm not just talking about do they have brown hair or blonde hair, or do they wear, stilettos, or do they wear baggy jeans, or do they wear suits? Or I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about knowing who has this problem. Who has this problem? Okay? And that's who you know who your audience is. With also knowing your audience, you got to discover and explore what type of content do they want to see in terms of like how you're going to give them that solution. How do they like it? You need to know your audience so well to know how they like it. All right? So, for example, Michelle Obama learned, I'm going to go with this same example. Michelle Obama learned very quickly through statistics and just seeing the numbers of the book sales that her audience didn't want her at the bookstore. They didn't want it like that. And it probably would have been the same exact message. They did not want it like that. How did they want it? In the form of the tour. That's how she wanted it. That's how her audience wanted it. So that's what she gave them. And when you give your audience what they want, that's when you look like a success. And that's when you'll actually be a success in terms of the results and the revenue that you'll gain on the back end. All right? So you have to make sure that you know your audience in the sense of knowing how they want it. Knowing who they are and knowing how they want it. All right? That's number 2. Number 3, you're going to create business goals. This was one of the things that was so hard for me when I was growing into my entrepreneurdom. Okay? It was very difficult for me because I was afraid to set goals that I might not reach. And that mindset in and of itself was incorrect. I had to then, once I realized I'm afraid to set numerical goals, number goals, I'm afraid to do this because I'm afraid to fail. I need to check my mind. I need to check my heart. I need to check how and what has caused me to get in this space so I can break it. So I can break it and start setting some goals and with the mindset that I can do this. Why? Not just because I'm so wonderful and so powerful. No, because I have what people need. I know that there's a great enough need for what I have to offer in terms of the solution that people will pay for it. And when you're that confident, not cocky, when you're that confident in your offer, when you present it, people will want it. It's an exchange. You're not forcing it down their throat. You're not making them see how important it is and always being in their face and all this. You're not doing any of that. What you're doing is giving them an offer, giving them an opportunity to solve their problem with your help. So I encourage you to set goals. I'm not just encouraging you. I'm letting you know that this is step 3. This is beyond encouragement. This is step 3 in terms of your content marketing strategy. You need to have this in place. All right? You need to have this in place. What you need to have in place is your goals. Create your business goals. How are you going to measure your success? How are you going to measure the success of your content marketing strategy? Are you going to look at how many new leads you got through the process? Are you going to look at the number of sales you got? Are you going to look at your conversion rate? Maybe your conversion rate increases. Maybe your traffic flow doesn't necessarily increase. You just changed your messaging to where now more people convert from watching you to engaging with you, right? Are you going to measure it like that? Are you measuring it from how many people join your program? Because when you go through the Author Boss Academy, you learn that you have an offer ladder, a value ladder, right? So what are you measuring your success by? What tools, what numbers? Okay? That's what I want you to make sure that you are including in creating your business goal. This doesn't have to be complicated. It can be very simple in the sense of answering these questions. What makes it complicated is you not being able to. If you can't answer these questions when you're looking at your content marketing strategy and building and selling your offer without ads, okay? Without ads, then you need to address some other things. Maybe mindset is an issue for you, just like it was for me, right? Maybe you need to do some mindset training, some mindset strengthening, all right? And I can help with that if you need it, all right? If you need some mindset strengthening help, go ahead and comment below mindset. And when I go back over to the comments, I'll make sure that we connect. We can talk later about some mindset exercises and ways I can help you with that, okay? But for now, create your business goals. That's part 1 is how you're going to measure it. Part 2 to creating your business goals is what keywords trigger your audience to action or engagement. What keywords trigger your audience to action or engagement? Action as in they actually say, I want to sign up right now, or I want more information. They become a lead at that point. And within your business processes and within your funnel, you should already have that in place. What happens first, second, next, last, etc. And if you need help with that, you need to join the Author Boss Academy. Go ahead and enroll, and you can get all of that information on how that happens there. But in the meantime, I want you to know that part 2 to creating your business goals is for you to know what keywords trigger your audience to action or engagement. What keywords are going to trigger them to become a customer or comment on your post, like your post, or send you an inbox? What keywords are triggering your audience to do that? In order to know that, you've got to know what the problem is that they have. You got to be really in tune with knowing your audience, right? And knowing the problem that they have. Who has it? How do they want to receive the information? Because that's how you're going to give it to them. And when you do this in these patterns, you're going to get the result. It's like 1 + 1 is always 2, right? You give people what they need, they will pay for it. 1 + 1 is always 2. It will never be 3, okay? So don't be afraid, because it will never be 3. So you don't have anything to worry about. All right, let's go to number 4. This is a really big one. And someone had made a comment earlier too about it. Time management. All right, number 4 is time management. How do you sell more with less? Content marketing, time management. How much time per day are you going to spend executing your plan? How much time per day are you going to spend executing your plan? How much time? Okay? You need to evaluate that before you do it, because then when it's execution time, it's game time. It's not for you to think about, it's for you to do. And if you get too caught up in the thinking about it and whether or not you've got time, and life is going to happen. Life is going to happen, and you're going to miss your rhythm. And when you miss your rhythm, you're also going to miss the opportunity to stay and keep momentum. And the momentum is what drives your audience to continue to come back. When they see that you're consistent, that's really another word for momentum, consistent. When your audience sees that you're consistent, right? We come here every Tuesday. Sometimes it's Wednesday, but it's every Tuesday for the most part. And when it's not on Tuesday, I'm explaining why and telling you when we will meet, okay? So when that happens, you want to make sure that you're consistent, all right? People understand life happens. They get it. They get it. Life happens. But if you don't manage your time and know upfront, I'm going to spend 30 minutes every single day doing some social media stuff and preparing my what have you every single day, because that's good for me, right? I can't do once a week every Sunday night for 2 hours because, I have a lot of things going on Sunday nights. Or Friday nights or Saturday nights or whatever, right? But you might find that if I just dedicate 30 minutes every day from 10 a.m. to 10:30, or from 1 p.m. to 1:30, let's say you might be at work. If you take your part of your work lunch every day, 15 minutes even, to make at least just a post. And then another time, maybe you get another 15-minute break later, you can respond to that post. Right? So your work day isn't interrupted, and then you can go home and enjoy your family or whatever you do after work, because you've done all of what you need to do throughout the day. You've got to figure out what your schedule is, what works for you, what's your groove, okay? Do you need to be scheduling posts in advance? That's something you need to look at as well. Do you need to schedule some posts in advance? Those are things that you need to look at when you're looking at time management, because that's going to dictate how the execution of your content marketing strategy evolves, grows, stays consistent, keeps momentum, and brings you monetary results. Okay? All right. So now we are on, let me see, we have done establish your message. We've done know your audience. We've done create your business goals. We've done time management. Next up is strategy. All right, strategy. When we're looking at the actual content marketing strategy, you want to look at what type of strategy you are looking to employ. All right, what type of strategy are you looking to employ? Are you looking to create a lead generation strategy? And if so, how are you going to bring in that traffic? What's the way you're going to do that? Are you going to do more videos? Are you going to tell people to go into your stories? Or are you going to post a story and then tell people to get into your DM, DM you to get into your inbox and respond to your leads that way? How are you going to drive traffic? You have to be creative if you're not using ads. And you can do it through social media. You definitely can do it through social media. I've sold our $5,000 Launchpad program. I've sold that to multiple clients through an inbox. We've never met before. They saw my post and saw that I was a publisher, and we took it from there. We got on a call. They loved it, and we signed agreements, and we passed invoice, and we got it popping. So it can happen, all right? So you want to look at your lead generation. When you look at your lead generation, you're looking at how you're going to bring in that traffic. What are you doing without doing ads? What are you doing? How are you bringing in that traffic through your posts? How are you doing that, okay? Your offer. When you're looking at your strategy, you need to make sure you have an offer in place. If you don't have an offer in place, you need to enroll in the Author Boss Academy so you can get your offer together before you even get to this step, right? So you might be a little bit delayed. But once you have your offer in place, you know exactly what you're offering when you're doing this for now through the end of the year, 30-day marketing strategy, content marketing strategy, or if you're kicking this off for the new year or kicking this off just because you ain't never had one before, this is the time where you say, okay, what is my offer? Your offer is connected to the problem that you solve. Okay, so what are the ways that they need to receive the problem that you solve? Is it in a core offer where it's a 6-week program or something that they do like an e-course? Is that it? Or is it a 1 hour power session with you for 250 bucks? What is it? What is the best way that they're going to get results? How can you get them results in the quickest way? How can you do that? And when you enroll in the Author Boss Academy, you learn there's about 5 steps in order to do. You can create 5 different levels of offer that will get them results on each level. So they're always coming back to you for that next level of result. All right. So offer, what are they going to get out of it? What is your audience getting out of the offer that you're presenting? Okay. Then lastly, in terms of strategy, you want to think about this before you execute, okay? Is lead nurturing. How are you going to keep them engaged? What else do they need? So this is where your email marketing comes in. Now, mind you, you've gained this client from phone calls if you want to do that, or you've gained this client from even emails that you sent out, or you've gained this client from your social media. Okay. And once this client has signed on with you, whether it's with your low ticket offer or your premium ticket offer, whichever it is, how are you going to nurture the relationship? You don't want to just give it to them and dump and boom, you're out of there. What else do they get? Is there a Facebook group that they can join so that if they have questions, they can interact with you? Because it'll be hard to manage, especially if let's say you even get 3 people on top of your home life, on top of your work schedule, on top of whatever projects you have going on top of your everything else that you have on your plate, right? On top of the volunteer work that you do at your local church or in your local community. Adding 3 clients alone with questions is a lot. So how do you manage that? Well, the way that you manage that is you think about how they need to be nurtured as a part of the process to getting to their result. The result that you promised them, that you know that will get through the program. But how do you nurture that relationship so that they come back to you always? They know whenever they have a problem with X, they are coming to you. So when people see me, whenever they have a problem with author or authorship or writing or marketing as an author or branding even, who do they come to? Your girl. Why? Because I've established that message that I am your go-to for all things author stuff, marketing, branding, and publishing, writing, marketing, branding, and publishing. That is what you get from me, all of that, okay? So you want to establish, and that lead nurture happens right here in this group, all right? You see posts, you get training through master classes like this. You get all types of tips, all kinds of stuff, right? I'm giving you all of that in this group. That's my nurture, okay? How are you going to nurture? And it's free. It's free. There's no cost to me doing this. There's no cost to people joining and watching either. Now, you have to set time. And I only want to work with people who are willing to invest their own time and dollars just as I have. So you have to invest the time, but it's here for you to take and make action off of right away. Right away, okay? So lead nurturing. You know it. I got you, J. Kyle. Lead nurturing. How will you keep them engaged? And what else do they need? All right. Is there a step in your offer ladder maybe missing? Okay. Does your premium package need to be tweaked based on the interaction that you're having now with them? Does it need to be tweaked? Okay. Do some things need to change? You need to look at that. All right. That's number 5. Last step, number 6. Last step, number 6. Number 6 is your strategy implementation. So strategic implementation. In this strategic implementation, you have planned and now you are executing. All right. And in that cycle of planning, right, we started with the planning and knowing who our audience is and knowing what our message is and all that good stuff. And then we got into the execution. This is you actually doing it. Okay. This is you actually doing it. After that, and while it's happening, even you are measuring. Okay. You're measuring the results. How many people are liking the post? This is where likes matter because it's an engagement number. It's not about who actually likes you. That part you don't care about, essentially. But you do care as a business person who is measuring results of a campaign. You want to know what posts your people gravitate to and respond to because those are the more of the posts you need to have. Okay, now I'm going to give you quite a few. So get your pen ready. I'm going to give you quite a few ideas or examples of what's going to go into your 30-day content strategy. Any subset of this, okay? Any subset of this is what you'll find in your content marketing strategy that is good for you to use, all right? That's going to be helpful and impactful. So You could do memes. All right. People love memes. They usually respond very well to them. But don't just do random. If you are a relationship expert, don't do memes about publishing. Don't do memes about writing a book. Do memes that are connected to the problem that your audience is looking to solve. Be intentional about the memes, okay? Keep it funny, and you can even create your own if you so choose. But whatever it is that you do, make sure that it is connected to the theme of your message. That's why right at the top, when we're creating the strategy, before we do anything else, we're establishing our message. Because when we get into the actual content and the marketing of that, the sharing of that, right? And so let me digress for just a moment. If you've never heard me say this, I'll say it now. In that, the difference between branding and marketing is that branding is the actual message and the marketing is how you get that message out there. Okay, so we're looking at marketing your message and using memes to do that. They have to be in sync. Okay, they have to be in sync. Memes. Then there's question of the day. Answer the question of the day. There's quick tips kind of posts. You can make a post that, hey, here's a quick tip about X problem. Hey, are you a pastor who's having trouble getting your leaders to follow the directions? Which should never be, right? I grew up in church, so you might get some church examples there. But yeah, question of the day. Okay, you want to include that and incorporate that into your content marketing, and make sure that it is relevant to the problem you solve. Okay, tutorials. All right, tutorials or even masterclass. Right, getting people to just be live and you sharing and teaching with them right here. That's a content marketing tip. You can even use some of your other marketing to build up to that. So now you're making everything just flow in sync, okay? You're flowing it in sync. Branding or branded graphics, all right? Branded, graphics are what you can include into your content marketing. So branded graphics, example of that, of course, your whole entire social media page, especially if we're talking about Instagram, should have a flow to it. It should have a look. So let's say you are a photographer, right? And the vibe that you want to give is warm, okay, and inviting. You might put a tint on all of the photos that you post and all of even the graphics that you post that have a little bit of a warm tint on there. So when someone looks at your first 6 to 9 posts, they're like, wow, this makes me feel warm and snuggly, right? Like I want to get some hot chocolate looking at your page because it makes me feel warm and snuggly. Matter of fact, I want to hire you because I want to feel warm and snuggly, okay? If you are a photographer and your brand message has to do with like clean lines, very modern, you're going to have a lot more posts that have more space in it, that have more like brightness and airiness to it. All right. So I want you to think about your branded graphics, and that's what you would post, those type of branded graphics. So let's say you are an author. You might post, even if it's not you, okay? You might have a post that is, you're an author, let's say a leadership author, okay? So you want to post, let's say, a laptop with a coffee mug. And it could be a person holding a coffee mug next to a laptop. It's not even your hands. It's not even your coffee mug. It's not even your laptop. But it sends the same message. And of course, you'll have some type of story or tip or whatever behind that. But that's a branded marketing post where not necessarily having your logo on it per se, but it has your it infuses and carries your message so that when they look at that picture and they see the tint on it, or they see the blue on it, or they see the clean lines on it, it doesn't have to be your face, but if they see that, they know that is a Yolanda Lewis post. When they see red and blue and yellow, they know that's a Yolanda Lewis Extreme Overflow post. They know that. All right. So you want to give them that in the branded graphics. All right. Then there's quotes kind of posts. Quotes. That's it. Posting a quote or even reposting a quote. That's always a great thing to do because and tag the person that or the organization that posted that quote. What happens then is everybody that was looking at it there or is interested in it over there, they're gonna keep following you on what you do. They're like, oh, this is the whole thing that I like, right? This is the whole category of stuff I like. I like quotes. I'm gonna follow this person because they just posted a quote, not all of them, right? But they just posted a quote that I liked on this other page. So I'm gonna follow them to see what else they have to offer, all right? Quotes. All right, videos, pre-recorded, I'm talking about. You can do it selfie version. Hey, this is Yolanda Lewis. I just wanted to hop on and share with you a quick tip, or I just wanted to get on and say hello and make your day great. I just wanted to whatever it is you just want to do, okay? Quick pre-recorded videos. You can do it a selfie version, or you can do it a little bit more formal to where, let's see. Okay, there we go. You can do it a little bit more formal to where it is, kind of, hi, my name's Yolanda Lewis, and here's what I wanted to share with you today. You could do it in that way as well, all right? But whatever it is that you do, you can do it pre-recorded and add that as a different flavor into your content marketing strategy, all right? Then you have live videos such as this one. And whether it's a masterclass or it's just a quick something, you have those live videos happening in as a part of a fusion to your marketing and your content marketing that you're putting out there. Message is the same. Message is the same. Tip might be different. The organization of the steps might be different, but it's all the same. All right, so live videos is very good to add into your content marketing strategy. If this is good to you, give me some rockets. Let me see those rockets, okay? All right, so we got live videos. We got stories. Using your stories. Okay, you can use the stories, and what's great about stories is you can actually double use some of your other branded graphics and some of your other quotes and put that into your stories. However, I recommend that you play around with stories in the way that increases action. So for example, you'll do a story, let's say it's a picture of the coffee mug and the laptop, and you'll say, hey, are you working hard today or hardly working? And it's a vote, something they just vote on. And they pick whatever it is. It gets people to engage, and you're getting people used to engaging with you, so that when you do that one day and then you come back the next week with, hey, I've got 2 slots open for coaching. If you want it, DM me to sign up now. They're already used to engaging with you. They're already used to engaging with you at that point. So using your stories as a part of your content marketing strategy is genius, okay? And use it to make sure that they are engaging. All right, general announcements. General announcements, those are posts that you can make as well. Contests, games, play that as well and post about those as well. Surveys. Do you use an Android or an iPhone? Because that will help you to build out some of the programs or products that you need and how they want it delivered going forward, okay? Discounts, announcements of discounts, or just posting that you have discounted stuff. Curated content, which is, again, sharing other people's content, right? It's already in the curation. It's already in motion, and people are already using it and loving it and liking it, okay? So curated content, sharing people's message, all right? Infographics, where you might post statistics. If you are in any form of leadership coaching or executive development, they will like that, okay? Or anything that you're selling pretty much high dollar and your audience is looking for some of those analytics to prove the fact that they have this problem and it needs to be solved, then you want to give them statistics. So infographics is great, or even caricatures if you choose to use the infographics in that way. Homework. Give folks homework to say, hey, here's what I want you to do today, and let me know how it goes, all right? Current events, any events that you have happening or going on or planning, you can post about those. Behind the scenes footage, people love. If you're working on a project and you're like, listen, y'all, I just had to take a break. I'm writing my 3rd book, but I wanted to take a break and just share XYZ with you, blah, 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 blasey, blasey, boo, okay? They like that. Share with them the behind the scenes footage, whatever that is, okay? If it's you taking a walk, if it's you doing whatever, like let them see that you're actually a real person. You're not just a robot making posts that they are liking and you keep it moving, okay? Social only promos, meaning your social, the only way you can get this is if you share, right? If you share this post, then you'll be entered into blah to win XYZ, okay? Social posts. Encouragement posts. It's just a happy post like, hey, maybe it's just a big smiling face emoji, right? And you just want to give them a smile today and show them some light. Maybe it's a picture of you smiling and you want to just share some light with them for that reason, okay? Giveaways. That's another great way to create your content marketing is to post about giveaways. Okay. Then you have product service announcements. Let's say you have something new coming out, whether it's a shirt or it is a new coaching program, or you want to just do a special little offer for just this one particular whatever. That's a post as well. Okay. Your personality post where you do like, guys might not do that, but girls will do something silly, fun, whatever. You can do a fun post like, I'm thinking about this thing, or I got some stuff on my brain. How about you? Whatever. You can do personality posts, okay? Those are cool. Freebies, all right? That's different than a giveaway. A giveaway is sometimes connected more so to a contest. But freebies, hey, go here to give me your email and download this. All right. And this, whatever the heck they're downloading, is connected to their problem. All right. Okay. What else do I got for you? Inspiration, time sensitive offers. Those are all separate posts that you can make, similar in message, but separate posts that you can make. And all that does is make your content more out there, because the object is to post at least once a day on the platforms that you have the most engagement, or where your audience is most at least once a day. You want to grow to the place where you're posting at least 3 times a day. But right now, to start, you want to post at least 1 time a day. And these are 30 items. I'm giving you actually 30 items. You could do one of these a day, or mix it up and do a couple of them every day, or whatever it is you want to do, whatever combination you want to employ, you can do that. All right. So direct call to actions, meaning join my mailing list now. That's a post. They've already gotten, you probably wouldn't make that your first post, right? But they've already gotten and experienced a lot of you, right? They've already gotten some good free stuff. They've signed up for a couple of your courses. They've gotten some stuff from you, so they're used to it. Direct call of action. Join my mailing list. Join this program now. What have you? Okay. Fun videos. My TikToks, and Instagram reels, and whatever else they have out there that is fun. You want to use those kind of things, okay? Boomerang stuff, whatever it is. Fun videos, lifestyle posts. You just lounging and watching TV, right? And not us looking at you like eyes to eyes, but us watching you do that. That's also a way. And then finally, virtual events, right? So we talked about announcing events earlier, but you can actually do virtual events too and announce that as well, okay? So those are the 6 steps that you can use to create a content marketing strategy that will keep you in front of your audience selling your offer without any ads, all right? Whether you have an audience or not, because guess what? When you do those things, you're posting once a day, you're going to build an audience. And so it's a win-win situation, whether you're starting from scratch or you're starting right from where you are. You have opportunity to build your audience and grow it without ads with this strategy. Is it harder? Yeah. Ads is definitely easier. But there's a way to do it without it. All right.